So today in the Vintage Kitchen at Part of My Poppet, we're just going to throw together a really quick bean salad. It's a great side dish for any dinners. It's perfect with meats, especially good with fish. You'll probably see Poppet coming in and out of the picture, as you can see her in the background, since I'm experimenting with different ways of filming the video, since I find it very difficult to film it and chop, mix, crack eggs with one hand. So here we go. In here I've got one large can of beans. As you can see, it's just a mixed can of beans. Buying a mixed can will save you time. If you want specific beans in there that aren't in the mix, or if you don't like certain beans, feel free to buy different tins and mix them yourself. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a half a bunch of parsley, and I'm just going to mince this up really fine. Now when you cut with any sort of a knife, and this is from experience because I have had stitches myself, you should keep your fingers back behind your thumb, and then when the knife goes along, it's always running along the knuckles of your fingers, and that way there's no fingertips getting cut off, no thumb tips getting cut off. It's by far safest. The other thing is always make sure you have a really sharp knife. The sharper the knife, the safer it is. It's less likely to slip off the edge of a rounded surface. Think of an onion or a tomato. If you can get right through it on the first cut, you're less likely to slip off and run into your fingers. So I'm just going to throw this in here. I like a lot of parsley. You could put a third or a quarter of a bunch of parsley, but I like a lot of parsley, so I'm going to put all that into my bowl with my beans. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to juice one lemon. Normally I would use one lemon. This lemon though is a mammoth lemon, as you can see in the size of my hand. So I'm actually going to start with a half a lemon because I can always adjust the seasoning later. Very hard to take things out if I've already put them in. I use a strainer just because I'm not very good at catching lemon seeds, and even with the strainer, one or two always seem to get through on me. Quick wash of the hands and I'm back. So to this now, I'm going to add a drizzle of olive oil. I like olive oil, it's alkaline. I add quite a lot in a lot of my dressings and sauces. I try not to use olive oil as much when I'm cooking, just because I can turn it rancid. But when I'm using raw oil, I like to use olive oil or flax oil. I've added in some pepper, and I'm going to put in a nice rind of salt. This is the point too when you would throw in tomatoes if you wished them. Garlic would be wonderful in this. I just have a garlic intolerance myself, so I can't put them in, but feel free. I actually have had it with garlic and it tastes delicious. Toss it just to combine. Take a taste and make sure your seasoning is good. And that's all there is to making your own fresh mixed bean salad. As always, you can find this and other recipes on partofmypoppet.com. Please feel free to follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And come back next week for another recipe in the Vintage Kitchen from partofmypoppet.com.